Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Free Exchange of Ideas. So, I know it's Tuesday, and I meant to do a show yesterday, but there was so much on Gavin Newsom's trip in China that I wanted to make sure that you knew about it. So, good morning to me, Nine Line. They are not a sponsor, but I like their stuff a lot. Nine Line uh, um, apparel, really good stuff. If you get a chance, go look. Hmm. All right, so Gavin Newsom in China. How much fun could this be? Um, so here's the first thing. Mr. Newsom, Governor Newsom, I suppose I should respect the office if not the man, went to China to talk to Xi Jinping about, get this, uh, I took notes, climate change and fentanyl abuse. Now, I don't know if you've ever paid any attention to Chinese, um, let's just call it, worries about climate change. They don't have any worries about climate change. As a matter of fact, between them and India, they do the lion's share of dumping carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The thing about carbon dioxide is trees use it. There's not many trees in the desert. So China, on the other hand, has some great forests, some monster forests. So, the dioxide is working great because trees turn that into oxygen, give it back to us, blah, blah, blah. You know how that works, I hope. Now, um, but let's just say Gavin Newsom and Xi Jinping had a great uh, coming of minds over climate change, and Xi agreed to uh, cut their emissions. It's a handshake deal at best, which means it won't go anywhere. And the fentanyl thing, China makes a lot of the precursor um, chemicals that are used to um, put fentanyl together for street use, uh, dilute it, clean it up, whatever. Now, the funny thing about that is those chemicals are used for other processes, so you can't really yank their chain on that. I suppose you could, but it won't do any good. Um, where their chemicals go might be a thing, but I don't think you can even question them on that. I think Xi was laughing at Gab the entire time. I think he was just having a blast, thinking this guy doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. And no, we're not going to do shit like he asks. I don't care if he's governor of California or if he's the president of the United States or um, general counsel for the UN. It's not going to happen. I could give a shit less. Xi doesn't give two shits about what we think here in the United States about anything he's doing in his country. He just doesn't. I don't blame him. I mean, he's getting along with what he wants to do, right? He has all kinds of human rights violations and abuses. The Uyghur population is dwindling by the day because of the abuse they've been taking as slaves um, in China. It's just amazing, and yet Gav went there anyway, thinking he could make a deal, thinking he could bolster his cred as a deal maker in the uh, worldwide arena. China doesn't give a fuck. They're like the honey badger. China just don't care. You can tell them whatever you want, but they'll come back and bite you in the ass the second you turn around. The thing about Gavin Newsom, he's already been bitten in the ass by China, and he still went there to make a deal. The other thing is, he decided it was okay to play basketball. Let me tell you something about China and basketball, NBA specifically. China spends more money than three countries combined to watch basketball on television. They can't ever see a live game in China, not of NBA guys. They'll never see LeBron James. They'll never see Stephen Curry. They'll never see name your next big guy. I don't know who that might be. I'm not a big basketball fan because I'm short. Go figure. Anyway, so they spend more money just to watch a basketball game on television than any 2 or 3 countries combined. And most of those 2 or 3 countries have NBA style basketball in their homes so they can go to a game. Can't do that in China. I imagine Chinese have basketball, but it's not NBA. I mean, let's be honest. Not many places are NBA level stars because those guys come to the United States to play for the NBA, play for the big bucks. Right? You're not going to make the big bucks in Spain or France or Great Britain. Not like you're going to make here. So Gavin joins a pickup game with some smaller children. And during this pickup game, evidently he loses his balance or he gets caught in a cross and he just runs this kid over, just plows him down ugly. And, oh yeah, I'm so sorry, picks him up and kind of walks away. It's like, come on, man. You plowed a little kid. You're 6 feet and weigh 200 pounds or mighty close. I think that kid was maybe 3.5 or 4 feet tall. Not basketball level tall. And at bust weighed 80 pounds. 80. Got plowed by a 200-pound man who should not have been on the court with the child in the first place, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm sure I'm not alone, but that's certainly my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. His trip to China was an absolute bomb, and he did it for publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, even bad publicity, right? I don't think so. I think this is going to hurt him in the end because he went to the CCP, the Chinese, I don't care what their name is, they're communists. The CCP, Communist Party, yeah, Chinese Communist Party, Communist Chinese Party, whatever. I don't freaking care. They're communists, and they're hardcore. They're less communist and more fascist than I think the Germans were in World War II. That's saying a lot because the Germans, they went ballistic, not just on the Jews, but they went ballistic on, damn it, I'm sorry about that. This was just off the top of my head, so I'm trying to remember. The traders, Traders, they went ballistic on traders. They went ballistic on gypsies. The Jews were not the only ones that were interned and or interred, I think is the word, and murdered. But they were the largest group, I believe, at 6 million. That's crazy. And the Uyghurs are already above that, and nobody's paying attention to that. Nobody is paying attention to that. It doesn't matter to anybody. Because it's Uyghurs and it's China, and we can't really get in to see what they're doing anyway. Let me tell you, Apple, your iPhone is right there in the middle of all of that. Your iPad, your MacBook, they're all right in the middle of that. And why the fuck are you still working with them? Nike, same thing. You're right in the middle of all that crap. Why are you still working with them? I recognize it's cheap. Go to fucking India, Bangladesh, go to Pakistan. They do cheap too. And they're not all slaves being beaten to death and having their entire group destroyed, killed, maimed, murdered for a pair of fucking sneakers or a titanium iPhone. You've got to be joking me. Those are not the only 2 companies who did specific work there. Disney went and did their Mulan live movie there, right there around the Uyghurs, and they had Chinese security to keep the Uyghurs away from them and keep them away from the Uyghurs. Disney did not care. The production company didn't care. The director didn't care. Evidently, the stars didn't care. And I don't get that. I don't understand that at all. And I know I'm getting a little off track here because I'm trying to do the Gavin Newsom thing, but I'm in China. So, so Gavin Newsom goes to China to talk to Xi Jinping about climate change and fentanyl abuse. Nothing is going to change. Xi Jinping laughed at him the entire time, thought this was just the most hilarious thing on the planet. This guy coming here thinking he could talk me into doing shit I have talked the entire world out of. Not going to happen. So I just watched Carl DeMaio's show on YouTube about this trip because like I said, there was so much going on. I wanted to get a little deeper into some of the things and just stay with China for the time being because he just came home. Newsom just came back to California. Hey, thanks for leaving us in the lurch and go and play with China, you fucktard. Oh yeah, by the way, this is not safe for work, so you might want to turn your volume down or something. Uh, let's see, what else? Um, Running over a kid. I don't care who you are. You don't get on a basketball court with, you know, 6, 8, 10 year olds. You just don't. Because that's what happens. They are able to maneuver quicker in shorter areas, and you are not. And they come up to your waist, man. You can't overbalance yourself. You can't save it. Shouldn't have been there in the first place. Shouldn't have been in China in the first place, but that's neither here nor there, because he went. Sorry, you need to take a deep breath there because I'm getting ahead of myself. He's going to kill the United States if he's voted president. I don't know if he actually is going to go this year because I don't have any solid evidence that says Joe Biden's going to pull out or be pulled out, and Kamala Harris agrees to not run. Once she gets into office, I don't know that she would keep that promise, but I don't think it would make any difference. There's no fucking way she could win against anybody. Not in her own party, that's for certain. So, if he doesn't run this year because Biden stayed, he'll run in 2028. There's no doubt of it. And he will continue to try and do the things that give him some foreign policy cred. He's in California and he keeps hammering that California is either the 6th or the 4th largest economy on the planet. He should already have some kind of foreign policy cred, and he doesn't. Why? Because he doesn't know how to, sorry about this, he doesn't know how to do that. He thinks he can just walk into any room and his smile and his slick hair will buy him all kinds of cred, and he's absolutely wrong. And he may recognize that after he's come home, he may recognize that Xi Jinping is not going to give him shit, or that's all he's going to give him. He won't get what he wants. He absolutely won't get what he wants. He can't make a deal for anything but California in China. And the only kind of deals he can make for California in China is, you guys have to do this thing or we won't buy your shit anymore. And China goes, fuck you. The world buys my shit. I don't need your house. 6th, 4th largest economy doesn't mean anything to me. Because the first 3 smoke you. And so do the 5th and 7th, 8th, and 9th. I sell to all of those guys. I sell to the top 10 minus you. Why would I care about California? And I could still sell to California through Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, whatever. Trust me, they're selling through those things. So, all that to say, Gavin Newsom is an owl snot slick politician who will tell you what he wants to do, what he will do, and Democrats will buy it every freaking time. I do not understand. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to Donovan yesterday about Gavin Newsom, and he goes, oh, he'll make a great president. No, he won't. He will not, absolutely will not make a great president. He will make a great example of a piss poor president, of somebody who tried to ruin the United States and lost, or won. And that's the scary part. He might actually win that. And that frightens the hell out of me because I know this man. I have been under this man's thumb since 2000-ish. He's dangerous. Not just dangerous to me, not just dangerous to the state of California. He is dangerous to the United States and he is dangerous to the world because he wants to be a dictator and he thinks he knows the way to get there. I want you to understand that. If you understand anything else, look this man up, follow his career, find out who he is, because he is absolutely the worst politician on the planet for the United States. I'm saying that right into the camera because I want you to know I'm looking right at you. Don't believe me. That's okay. Look him up. Look up his press, all of his press, and be careful what you read. Read it all, because if you don't read it all, you won't get the full picture and you won't know what you're looking at. Okay, that's all I got for you. I know this ran a little bit long, a little bit longer than I meant. I meant to go only 10 minutes, but China, what can I say? All right. Always remember, even fluffy bunnies have teeth and claws for a reason. I really got to come up with that video somewhere. Live long, fight hard, win the day. Love you guys.